Interested in getting tickets to a concert or sporting event? Use SeatGeek and get $20 off on your next purchase with promo code OBERSPORTS. That's OBERSPORTS, OBERSPORTS. What's going on, guys? Jacob Ober here, coming to you with my reactions to Packers versus Washington. The Packers take this one 24-10. Not the most impressive victory, but a victory nonetheless. The Packers defense gets 2 red zone stops after having 0 to the day this season. And, you know, part of that has to do with Washington just being really, really bad offensively. I mean, the one play, Taylor Heineke slid down before he got to the end zone. He rolled into the end zone, but he slid down and his knee was down short of the goal line. He could have easily ran it in. Might have taken a hit while doing so, but he could have easily ran it in. So not sure what he was thinking there. And that was definitely a huge moment in the game because the next play, the Packers stopped Heineke's quarterback sneak and ended up taking over at the 1-yard line. So that wiped out a potential 7 points for the Washington football team. And the Packers, offensively, they didn't really get their running game going, but Aaron Rodgers had 275 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the Packers really used the short pass a lot as kind of a setup for the run today. When the Packers did run the ball, they didn't really get much traction because of that really good front 7 or front 4 at least for Washington. But they really did a good job of, kind of spacing Washington out a bit with those shorter throws. And this is a strategy that I've seen used by a lot of NFL teams, when the other team has a really good, front that is able to slow down your running game. You kind of use the quick pass game as like a substitute for the run game. There's a lot of screens today. There's a lot of quick slants. There's a lot of, 4 to 6 yard passes that the Packers completed. Rodgers was 27 to 35 for 275. So, he was definitely efficient, and he made all the throws he needed to today. Definitely looking like Rodgers is taking on more of a game manager type role this year. He's not making any crazy throws or, insane plays. He definitely has had his fair share of those this year, but he's not, the guy who needs to be great for the Packers to win. And they did that a lot last year, too. Of course, he was the MVP last year as well. But, yeah, this year it definitely looks more like he's kind of taking a back seat to that running game. But today they needed him, and he stepped up, and he played really well. So, overall, the defense... The defense looked kind of shaky at times, but they got the stops when they needed to. They got a little bit lucky, but they got the stops when they needed to, and that's really all you can ask for them. The defense only giving up 10 points today, and God, I think they might be top 10 in points per game allowed, and they were top 5 in passing yards and top 15 in rushing yards allowed and top 5 overall, and they showed the graphic earlier in the game. So the Packers defense certainly, for as frustrating as it has been to watch them at times this year, overall they have done a pretty solid job without some of their best players. There was no Preston Smith today, obviously no Zadarius Smith. Jair Alexander is still out. Kevin King was out today. So missing a lot of key players on this defense, and yet they've still been able to step up and, make plays and, get stops and do what they need to do to help the Packers win football games. So next weekend, though, is going to be a bit of or not next weekend, actually this coming Thursday is going to be a bit of a challenge because Arizona is 6-0, possibly 7-0 if they beat the Texans today. And that's going to be a big one on the road against Arizona for sure, in a place that the Packers don't often win. Of course, we've had our fair share of playoff nightmares there as well. So we'll see if the Packers can carry their success into the game against Arizona. I would be pleasantly surprised if the Packers won that game. I'm definitely not expecting them to win it, but, it's certainly a very good test to see where this Packers team really is at, because they played some not-so-great teams between, the first week of the season and now. They've also played some good teams, too. The Bengals, they beat the 49ers, so you could even make the argument that the Bears are a pretty good team, but still, overall, they're doing what needs to be done, and if they can continue to do what needs to be done and find ways to win games, then they'll be sitting pretty. And hopefully they can win this game, because if they don't, then the odds of getting that number 1 seed in the home field advantage are a little bit slimmer. We'd have to hope for the Cardinals to lose some games, but, we'll see what happens for sure. I'm really excited for Thursday, and if the Packers pull off a victory, it would be pretty huge. But in the meantime, guys, that's all I got to say in this video. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter @OberSports and on Instagram username Jacob_Ober. And I'll see you guys next time.